Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about The Subtle Art of Folding Space by John Chu. The Subtle Art of Folding Space is a debut science fiction novel from John Chu. You might know him from some of his short fiction work over the years. I particularly enjoyed his contribution to the New Sons 2 anthology out from Solaris Books, edited by Nissi Shawl. And so I was really excited about this first novel of his. It is a short novel, sort of similar in length to The City in Glass that we covered about 16 months or so ago here on Bar Cart Bookshelf by Niveau. So a nice swish little 256 page novel, longer than a novella with a bit of heft to it, but something that you can really read in a nice afternoon session. It is the story of Ellie, a young woman who is part of a sort of group of folks who maintain the physics of the universe. This is a multiverse of sort of nested universes, like little Matryoshka dolls, and they have a skunk works, this sort of underground or outside reality kind of septic plumbing system, essentially, the infrastructure grid that creates the physics and the laws of nature of that universe and outward, and then being created inward and sort of projected out into this ever-expanding multiverse. It is, big, grand, ambitious sci-fi, sort of somewhere in that sweet spot of really fantastical science fiction and hard sci-fi there in the quantum studies where the physics gets a little weird already, and just really fantastic stuff, because for all that this is this big grand multiversal situation, it is a family story. It is a very human, very intimate sort of story. Ellie is in conflict with her sister Chris over the relationship that they have with their mother, this very sort of tense and complicated relationship, and very close with her cousin Daniel, who is if Jack Reacher were a diagnostic technician on the universe, who is also a superstar chef and has an opera singer boyfriend. Daniel's really great. My favorite character in the book. So cool. Absolutely massive dude. Stacked, jacked, and he's bringing a snack. He generates these diagnostic reports on what's going on in the skunk works, this sort of universal public utility, as food. So you get these really lavish descriptions of food, these really wonderful meals over the course of the novel as well. I think sometimes we get these speculative fiction books where you have either clothes writers or food writers, and given what we do here on Bar Cart Bookshelf, I love when I find someone else who loves food and drink just as much as I do. Really great stuff. I was salivating through the entire book. Just really great stuff. And again, this sort of complicated blend of an intimate family drama and elements of a conspiracy thriller to subvert the laws of nature in this universe. So you get this wonderful fizzy interplay of genre possibilities and that really strong emotional core. It is an incredibly assured debut, and one that I had just a fantastic time with. And so we had to have a drink. Our drink today is the Maintainer, named for this sort of role of being involved in the maintenance of the physics of the universe. It's something that, anyone can opt into. You can choose. It is not related to you by blood. It is not related to you by natural gifts, more if you have the inclination and the willingness to take on this role in the universe. It is a path that is open to you, even if it's something that's maybe more aware if you're already part of the system. So a really fun play on some of those sorts of hierarchical and familial lineage-related sort of magic and science fictional tropes there. And so our maintainer is going to begin with 1.5 ounces of Baiju. It's a Chinese spirit distilled from sorghum. I really like it, a nice clear spirit. Ellie loves a citrusy drink, so our drink is going to be a nice shaken sour, sort of a riff on like a classic vodka gimlet, but kicked up to an 11 there. And so instead of vodka for our sort of gimlet style drink, we're going to have the Baiju there, which has got this wonderful sort of fiery burn, this beautiful fruity aroma. It's really good stuff. And then to that we will add an egg white, nice frothy, foamy. We're going to get a nice sort of stratification of layers to give us this sense of the universe within the universe. And then we will add 3/4 ounce of lime juice. Gotta have that nice citrusy, zippy zing. Just bright, refreshing, really great for spring, for sitting out on the porch with a good book. And then we've got this beautiful blue on the cover. So for an extra little kick of citrus, going to get 1/2 ounce of blue curacao. This orange liqueur that has been dyed bright blue. Always one of my fun ingredients to play with. And then for a bit more sweetness and a bit of heat, we're going to add 1/4 ounce of ginger syrup. I have a recipe for how to make this ginger syrup in my book, Cocktails and Consoles. 75 cocktails and mocktails to level up your game night. Got a link to snag that in the description down below. And then for a final fiery kick, we are going to add a bar spoon of hot pepper tincture. Just really bringing the fire here. Perfect. There we go. We've got all of our ingredients in our shaker for our maintainer, and we will start with a dry shake to help froth and foam that egg white, to help start building up those proteins, those structures there in the egg that are going to give us that really velvety sort of mouthfeel, that beautiful structural foam, that just nice extra oomph that comes from having an egg white in your sour style cocktail. And if you wish to omit the egg, you are certainly welcome to do so. It's going to be somewhat different in texture and mouthfeel, but it will still be delicious. I love whiskey sours with egg white and without, and so any sort of drink like this, where we're not adding soda and getting that real sort of beautiful fizz, you can always choose to omit the egg white. Lovely. Just nice and shaken up. Fantastic. And then we'll add our ice. Oh, that Baiju smells fantastic. And shake it up with it. There we go. Nice frosty freezy. Frost on the tins. Give that a stout tap. Perfect. And then we will strain into a stemmed glass, like so. Our handy-dandy Hawthorne strainer. A lot of the book is set in the DC area, but also in Boston, home of the original Boston Shaker and Hawthorne strainer. So very near and dear to my heart as well. But there you have it. This is The Maintainer, inspired by The Subtle Art of Folding Space by John Chu. The Subtle Art of Folding Space is available today. A huge thank you to the publisher Tor Books for sending me a review copy so that I could share it with you on release day. I had such a great time with this. If you're a fan of what we do here on Bar Cart Bookshelf, I think you really will as well. Check it out. I've got a link to snag that in the description below, as well as I said, a link to purchase my book, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 Cocktails and Mocktails to Level Up Your Game Night, and Shatter the Sun, the latest anthology from Neon Hemlock, Queer Tales of Untold Adventure. I have contributed a story to that anthology, and I'm so excited to be sharing it with folks this season. I hope you'll check that out. Check out our links to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do. Subscribe so you never miss an episode, because we've got some really great books that we're going to be talking about this April, May, as we head through spring and into summer. I can't wait to share those with all of you. And until next time, cheers.